So I saw your CEO speak about 2 months ago here in Silicon Valley. I believe he was speaking over at Stanford University. And I saw that you had several mobile applications there at Aetna that you had either developed or acquired. And it was really interesting technology. And I know of Aetna from my work at eHealth Insurance when I worked with them, because eHealth Insurance is an online health insurance broker. And I knew of Aetna through them, and I thought it was kind of unique that you're starting to go more into health technology and providing mobile applications and all to help people. So I was hoping you might be able to talk a little bit about that. Is that possible?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's a good conversation to have.
Yeah.
And first of all, you have a great job. I was checking you out online, and I thought, wow, that looks like fun.
Yeah, it gives me access to talk to a lot of interesting people. So like last week, I was able to talk to the CTO for HHS, Brian Civic. And it gives me access to a lot of very powerful people like that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me first tell you, I have been at Aetna about 3 months.
Okay.
And prior to joining Aetna, I have been on the advertising side doing basically marketing consulting for companies like IBM and Delta and Pfizer and Merck and, basically every category out there, focusing on the healthcare industry for the last 8 or 9 years specifically. And I think I came up with the same observation that you did, which is that all these companies are designing things that are basically for themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
They oftentimes don't step outside and think about what is the right consumer experience or how to connect the journey through to the provider, through, to the caregiver or whoever their audience is, but it needs to be connected, and currently it's not. So I completely understand where you're coming from, and I think that you have a very good mission. So, I've been, like I said, at Aetna for about 3 months, and the best thing about being here for me personally is that I get to concentrate on one brand and think about the end-to-end consumer journey for one brand instead of spreading myself across multiple brands. And I think that, to your point, the mobile technology that we are currently developing is one of the key reasons why I wanted to join Aetna, because clearly the industry needs to move beyond being the old insurance company and into the mobile health technology space and really, truly play catch up a little bit, because other industries figured this out a few years ago, and I think Aetna is well on its way to becoming an industry leader in the mobile health technology. It's basically enabling Aetna on our journey to become more than just an insurance company and move into the health and wellness space. Mm-hmm. So you probably heard Mark talk about iTriage, CarePath.
Yeah, he talked about those. Yeah, would you be able to elaborate a little bit on those two packages?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me start with iTriage. So iTriage was, as I'm sure you researched, developed by a pair of MDs in 2009, and Aetna acquired it in 2011. It has more than 9 million downloads and really enables consumers to make better healthcare decisions by allowing them to easily research symptoms and then tracking through to the right provider to treat them. Do you have it anywhere on your, on a tablet or a phone that you can play around with while we're talking? Haven't you visited the App Store?
Yeah, that would probably take me a little bit of time to find it and download it and install it.
No, that's okay. That's all right. I thought you might have it handy. Well, you should definitely have it handy because I think it's a great piece of technology.
Yeah. Now, does that work just on the iPhone? Because you mentioned the App Store. Or does it also work on Android?
It's also on Android.
Okay.
And I think what's unique about it, and I think what has really resonated with clearly these millions of consumers, is that there is a level of mystery around healthcare and a greater level of mystery around the providers and how to access the right care at the right time. And for me, the simplicity of this is what's so beautiful about it. So if you do have time to play around with it, I think you'll see what I'm talking about. But
yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it after we're done with this phone call.
Yeah. Well, for example, my 6-year-old daughter loves to pretend that she's a nurse, and she can navigate through this so easily and find the right doctor for me to see when I tell her that my knee hurts. And it truly is this beautiful, simple technology that when you put the power of personalized data behind that, really becomes a solution that helps consumers and providers meet in the middle and find the right care solution for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so iTriage, it helps you, kind of in a nutshell from what I'm hearing, it helps you maybe self-diagnose a little bit about what your problem might be and help you find a physician that might be able to help you. Is that correct in kind of a nutshell?
Correct. It's a symptom-to-provider pathway.
Mm-hmm.
So you can check your symptoms and find possible causes of symptoms. You can determine the appropriate treatment path. So, for example, it might be something that you could call a 24-hour on-call nurse. It may necessitate a visit to the ER, or it would direct you to, a specialist in your area.
Mm-hmm.
You can research different tests, treatment, procedures, and diseases. Really find out, if you have a symptom, it will help you find out your best path to treatment for that symptom, which may be anything from, a trip to the drugstore for an aspirin all the way through you should get yourself to an ER immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And everything in between.
Okay. Now you mentioned another product as well.
Yeah, so we just launched CarePass last week. And CarePass is an app that offers connected access to some of the, the health and wellness apps that you are familiar with, I'm sure, like Lose It or Up by Jawbone, Fitbug, about 20 others. So if you log on to CarePass, sign up for an account, you can set your personal goals, and it will help you visualize those goals. And I think what, again, is so user-friendly about this is that if I say my goal is to lose 10 pounds, it will actually help me visualize what that would look like in a fun way. So, for example, there's a graphic of a belt tightening, or some graphics of scales, with diminishing numbers on them. You could set a personal goal, and from New York City to Boston, and your daily journey, and that will map against it visually. It's highly interactive. It's highly engaging, and we worked really hard to make it that way because we know that in order for people to stay engaged, there needs to be a reason for them to keep coming back. And with a myriad of health and wellness apps out there, and people who are clearly engaged with some of those other apps for years, think about Nike, this connects them all in one place. So it's unique in that it can show you, with all of your connected data, a full picture of your health.
Oh, okay.
And then if you're an Aetna member, you can also connect your personal health information to that as well. Give it an even more robust review and track, your history of blood pressure or whatever it might be to help you better manage your health.
Yeah, now how does it do that tracking? Do I have to enter in that information on a daily or weekly or monthly basis, or does it do it automatically, or how does it do that?
It'll be an automatic update if you connect and you allow access. So your user has to allow access to your other to the other health and wellness apps that you have.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So it'll integrate in with other health and wellness applications that I would have, maybe installed on my smartphone or something.
Exactly.
And it would automatically. So does it integrate with any kind of health app, or are there only specific? So like an API call that is being done. How is that? Do you know how that's being done?
Yep. it's an open API, and I think we're up to 23 partners.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, as long as the apps that you're currently engaged with are part of CarePath, then it'll integrate with that. And we're looking for more partners every day, and clearly looking to expand the breadth of the offering.
Oh, okay. Would you be able to send me a list of those 23 partners? I could put them on my blog post when I write it?
Definitely.
Okay. So now you mentioned something about being able to track, like maybe when you lose weight. Like let's say I want to lose 10 pounds, and it'll be able to help you visualize that. Does that plug in with a different application that does that, or is that Aetna's technology, or how is that done? I'm just wondering how I would visualize it.
Why you would visualize it?
Well, not why, but how. So,
how?
Yeah, because I'm wondering, because visualize it, one thing that you could do is just using numbers.
You could.
The other way is a little bit more sophisticated, where you could take a picture of yourself and then you could show what you'll look like with being 10 pounds lighter.
No, the visuals are a little bit more cartoony, not actual, a reduced picture of yourself. But that would be fun too. That's a great idea.
Yeah,
that's not what you have currently.
Yeah, I know definitely the technology exists. I just haven't seen anybody do it.
Exactly.
When you said that sparked my interest. I'm like, that might be interesting for somebody.
I think it's a great idea. I'll pass it along.
So, okay. So now with CarePath, is that on a mobile device, or is that web-based, or what is that?
You can access it through carepath.com or also through the App Store. The other place you can check it out is on whatsyourhealthy.com, which is the digital hub for our brand new, last week launched brand campaign.
Okay, what was that called again?
Whatsyourhealthy.com.
Whatsyourhealthy.com?
Yep, no apostrophe S. It's just WHATS, yourhealthy.com.
And Alex, sorry to interrupt. I'll send you a press release that we issued last week that has a lot of details on What's Your Healthy and CarePaths, and I'll send you a document that has has all of the CarePaths partners. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that would be very helpful.
Yep. Thanks, Ethan. That's great. So What's Your Healthy is our new brand campaign, and it wraps the message that everyone's healthy is different. So your healthy might be doing morning yoga or stretching. Another person's healthy might be running marathons as often as they can. And another person's healthy might just be taking some time for themselves to read a book. And the idea is that Aetna really truly understands that health is personal. And we want to enable whatever your version of healthy is. And the digital hub experience invites consumers to actually have a conversation about what their healthy is and make a tile, a digital tile, bringing in their own photos or photos that we supply, and then you can also share those photos or the tiles that you've made to Twitter or Pinterest or Facebook. So beyond that, when you go to whatsyourhealthy.com, you can also see how CarePath and iTriage and other mobile tools that we have can enable your version of healthy. So I think it wraps a nice story. And again, what I was saying, I don't think this is Aetna talking to ourselves. I think this is Aetna attempting to have a conversation beyond health insurance with our core consumers and members.
So do you know what the idea is behind Aetna doing a little bit more than health insurance? So obviously there's Aetna is a company, so there has to be some kind of monetary value behind it.
I've only been here for 3 months. Clearly there's a strategy philosophy behind it, but I will say that, the healthier the people are that we care for, the easier that makes our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw Mark speak. He wants people to be healthy. He genuinely believes in good health and practices it himself. And, I've never worked for a company like Aetna before. I am constantly bombarded by messages about come to our new yoga session, and, the cafeteria has every single day healthy options, and I feel really guilty bringing a piece of pizza back to my desk because everyone takes the stairs, and health and wellness is front and center for the culture at Aetna.
So what you're saying is there's no elevators in your building?
You get a dirty look if you go up and down the elevator. Everyone takes the stairs. It's really, I think it's really unique, and we are a company that that we're living the brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great to see a company that's very health conscious.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially with people living longer and longer, it's not a matter of anymore how long you live, but how long you live healthy.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to live healthy, right?
Yeah.